Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning into the Leftovers channel. Today I want to introduce you to my haunted house. It's pretty much a custom build. I've got a lot of, inspiration, and I've got other play sets worked into this, like Scooby Doo, as well as some of the Monster Fighters stuff, obviously. But it is my haunted house, and I made it with a few very special ideas in mind. So look, it started off when I saw the Lego minifigure monsters out in shops. Like, I knew the Monster Fighters line existed, and I started getting really interested in building my very own haunted house using some of these monster minifigures. I went online and I found the design schematics for the haunted house from the Monster Fighters line. It's an incredibly expensive playset, but I used that as like a base to build out my very own haunted house. And over the 2-3 years that I've been building this thing, Lego also released the Scooby Doo line of figures. So I've worked those into this design as well. You can see right here on the front, there's some haunted mansion like building work happening here, as well as the greenhouses from Scooby Doo. And even from the back, we can see that the Egyptian playset, the museum playset, is here too. Surrounding the base of the playset here, you'll see some Monster Fighter playsets that I've picked up, like the werewolf tree swamp thing, as well as Dracula's hearse. I do love the Monster Fighters playsets. I thought they gave the haunted house a bit more context, a little bit more stuff happening around it. The haunted house on its own is really cool, but I love the way with Lego playsets that you can build out that scene. So we're going to open it up, and I just wanted to quickly point out here that the way I built it, like the big idea that I had here was I wanted a house that they could move around in. They could move around freely in. I wanted the staircase to go to the second floor. I wanted to make sure when the set was shut that the figures could navigate around the house, theoretically. There's a kitchen area, there is labs, there is doors that lead in and out of the haunted house. Everything here just, hopefully it kind of works for them, On the bottom level here, we have our laboratory. It's where the mad scientist works on all his creations, including his Frankenstein monster. So here at the bottom, we have our fireplace that does swivel and move. As you shut the set, there's actually enough space for the Lego figures to navigate around it. And we also have Frankenstein's slab that he sits on while the professor works on him, but it does pick up, swivel around. You can actually shut the playset with Frankenstein in the upright or the laying flat down position. So there's a little bit of flexibility here, and there's also a back door that leads to like this ghoul guarding the chains back there. So the mad scientist gets the most space here on the bottom level. You can climb up the stairs, and there are 3 sections here on the second level. We have a living area section with where the zombie hangs out with Scooby Doo, with our turntable. There's books and just clutter and bits and pieces, as well as the safe where they keep all their gold. We also have the mummy section. Now, like I said before, this is pretty much the Scooby Doo mummy museum playset, but I've worked it into here. I've also got a few pieces from the Monster Fighters mummy chariot. So I've got 2 different mummies. They both sort of haunt this area. You'll notice that the Scooby Doo playset monsters, they all have like a face reveal on the other side, whereas the Monster Fighters, they're just monsters. But yeah, a lot of these pieces are taken from both that chariot set. All the pieces are in here somewhere, as well as that mummy museum. And I think it just works really, really well. It adds a little bit of color inside my haunted house. There's, the sand-colored walls and the printed pieces and the printed bricks. And on the far side of all that, we have the kitchen area. I'll be able to get to that a little bit later, but essentially we've got a kitchen here for the monsters to, I guess, make their meals in. Let's move up to the top level now. We've got 2 sections here. Obviously, we have our pirate who's hanging out with his pirate ship and his cannon. He's one of the Lego minifigure monster figures, and I just love the look of him. I loved having the pirate hanging out on the roof with his old boat, kind of like in the crow's nest, looking out, making sure that these humans don't get too close. And then we've also got Dracula. So Dracula, I've given him his own little sort of bedroom up here. There's a removable roof on top, so we can easily get in to have a look, and we can see, you know, he's got his coffin in there. He's got a crate full of old newspapers because he is incredibly old, as well as like a bunch of old records. And look, it's a small room and it's hard to get into, but if we go to the front of the house, we can actually see, like, this is all the Scooby Doo Haunted Mansion stuff here that I've built into my haunted house, but the roof here lifts up, which reveals the top floor of Dracula's house. We get easy access to his coffin. So I've definitely tried to incorporate easy ways to get in and play with some of this stuff. I really think playability is a massive deal when it comes to designing your own Lego sets. Things need to be easy to move around and play with and easy to adjust and position. And in talking about easy accessibility, the whole front section here does lift off, and that is how we get to the kitchen area. We can access the kitchen, we can access the ghoul, we can see the stairs a lot better as well in the middle of the playset here. And while we're talking about pieces that I've taken pretty much piece for piece off the Haunted Mansion playset, we've also got the greenhouse down here. Again, it's another detachable piece. It's easy to access, and hiding inside is our changing plant man. Now, again, he is from the Lego Monster Minifigure line, but I thought he worked really well. I really wanted to give him like a garden area within the haunted house. If you watch my original review of this set from 2 years ago, the original iteration, I've actually got him hanging out the side of the house with a bunch of other plants and vines growing. Now he's got his very own greenhouse built into the side of the house. Like I said, it's pretty much piece for piece from the Haunted Mansion playset, but I do love how they managed to make those pumpkins. I do love the look of the greenhouse, all the glass, all the stickers and all the pieces. It just works really, really well, and I wanted to incorporate that into my haunted house design. So it builds it all in, you know, it gives it a little bit of context. There are leaves and trees and vines growing all over this old haunted house. And that is basically the full tool. Like I said, you can watch the original review from 2 years ago. I do really like that original iteration, mostly because I feel like it's a little bit more consistent with the colors and the brickwork. Incorporating the Scooby Doo stuff, even though I love how much bigger it's made it and how many more rooms and how much more accessible everything is, I do think that one thing that I really need to work on is a bit of that consistency. Like, I'm not a master brick builder. I just do this for fun like everybody else. And I just wanted to show off my haunted house, taking that original Monster Fighters haunted house plan and turning it into one of my own. I do really love the way it's turned out. But like with all these Lego creations, it's a constant work in progress. I'm constantly working on ways that I can make it better. Maybe not any bigger because it's big enough, but making it a little bit smaller and more condensed and more concise, like that would be kind of cool as well. Just having like a mini haunted shack on the side would be kind of cool. And yeah, absolutely. If you've got any ideas, any suggestions, leave them down below. I'm always working on this sort of stuff. And if you love the look of this set, maybe you'd like to check out my Ninja Turtles Sewer Lair playset that I made as well. I built my own Ninja Turtle sewer lair deep beneath the streets of New York City. I've incorporated again a couple of other play sets into that design. But yeah, it's my very own Ninja Turtle sewer lair, and I'd love if you wanted to check that one out as well. Leave comments or feedback. Yeah, I just really enjoy playing with Lego, and I hope that maybe some of these videos have given you some ideas of how you could build your own creations, inspiration to build your own creations, and don't hesitate to share them in the comments either. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here, and until next time, cheers.